also doesn't want to give away the Umbreon.
Talon PH, what will be their next ban here? I wonder if they will be banning away the Gyarados. I don't think so, because if it will be left open, they will most likely pick it away for themselves. So it will be a target against Miva.
Oh, once again, they saw the prior matchup, and it was Miva who was having so hard of a time.
Gyarados is open for Talon PH. Elevate Unite is daring them to go ahead and pick it up. It looks like the Talon PH is not going to mind the Gyarados, rather will go for the Hoopa.
And expectedly, they're gonna go for the Trevenant and also the Mew, but instead picks up the Gyarados, still having the availability of the Trevenant if they want to go for it, but instead Mew will get picked up.
Yeah, Lewis, the best pick possible for Lewis is this Mew. Always effective, always deals a huge amount of damage. For Talon PH, their answer to the Gyarados will be the Lucario, which is, actually no, they're holding back and would rather go for one of their premier attackers in the Sylveon. This is within your expectations, Infinity. Trevenant is going to be part of Talon PH's roster.
Trevenant, Hoopa, Sylveon, these are so good off picks. And Zoroark and Comfey are still available for Talon to pick up. So Elevate has to think about what they have to do next.
We'll see. Because the Zoroark Comfey is Elevate's ace card, right?
And Hoopa is already onto Talon's side. So unexpected. This is not going to be Zoroark.
Exactly.
I was a bit too excited, but
right.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes, you know, whenever
I overlook it.
Zoroark is Elevate's calling card, I guess. But anyway, for Talon PH, they need to find an answer to the Gyarados. Blastoise, kind of slow. So if you will ever use the Blastoise on the top side, it will just be a stalemate. You know, a give and take and so on. But you know, with Talon PH's roster, again, the sense of balance is in it once again, right? The double EV evolutions that can really counter out the early game of Elevate Unite. Eldegoss to pick it up, or to be the last pick here for Elevate.
This is very good. Now, when we're looking at it, these are pretty much very mirror type of matchup, because if we're gonna think about it, the damage leaders for both sides, Sylveon and Glaceon for Talon, it will be Mew and Espeon for Elevate. You have the hindrances and suppression built into the Gyarados, Mamoswine, which will be tanky as well, and Talon has Trevenant and Blastoise. But the thing is, Elevate still needs a little bit of that extra push when it comes to hindrances and suppression, so they pick up the Eldegoss.
Yeah. Also has a decent amount of damage in comparison to the other supporters that are available for the taking. And so now game number 1 draft is already set in stone here. Infinity. Elevate Unite really wants to support this Gyarados on the top side. Miva has been the X factor for Elevate in a lot of their games, and the Tyranitar, this should be a lot easier to scale up, right? Because comparing Tyranitar that needs to be at level 9 for him to be effective, Gyarados only needs 5 levels to be effective.
And that was really a good opening coming in from Elevate Unite. It was Talon who wants to prioritize Hoopa, expectedly just because of how much benefit it provides, utility it provides for the team. It's just a better, well, not really a better supporter. Everyone's actually equal in and of itself into every single supporter, but overall, Hoopa is just too good for those resets, your HP bar going back full, coming back into those fights, so prolonged matches is favorable for Talon.
And there will always be an option for the Hoopa to invade and slow down the central Pokemon for Elevate Unite, which I believe is going to be the case here, because you look at the map, Hoopa already finding himself on the other side of the map, trying to invade and trying to slow down the Espeon, but Espeon is already level 4, so need to be careful. Elevate Unite, a initial 3v3 on the top side with Miva being concentrated by Lance!
Nice one. It will be the Eldegoss who will secure that KO.
And that's a big one, because you're giving assist over to the Magikarp, allowing for him to have earlier access to the Gyarados. You look at the bar, it's already at half. Oh man, Miva, he might just be able to find himself at the 8-minute Gyarados level.
Now stuck, but Hyperspace Hole. Immediately go back into a reset position. Right. That's just the strength of Hoopa overall being utilized by Talon. Just being a nuisance, but also at the same time can come back into those fights at any given time.
JR, locked.
Will be gone, will be absent. That will be a KO for Talon.
That's true, and now the reset comes in with Kai being here to support the squad. Here comes a 4-1 rotation, right? Like this is within expectations. Talon PH just mirroring what Elevate United is trying to do right now, and Kai hyperspace hold with a reset. No harm, no fall.
Yeah, and I love what she was doing. If you're going to look back at the past couple of seconds into this matchup, he's consistently just staying on top side. He wants to babysit the Gyarados and the Magikarp to be able to evolve as soon as possible. And this is it. This is what we're looking for. And once that happens, Gyarados will now start to ramp up.
Yeah, now he has more tools in his arsenal and can make play for the squad. Elevate Unite. Just enough timing, right? At 8 minutes, that's the timer for the Gyarados to level up. And in the middle part, there was an exchange, but no casualty as of yet.
Yeah. And Gyarados will not just go for flailing and splashing.
Now he can bounce, right?
Yeah, now he can bounce. Now he can jump. Definitely so. But Elevate, Unite, and Talon very close thus far. Talon is still waiting for that moment wherein War Turtle will evolve into Blastoise, and Hoopa having the availability of the Unite move will be crucial as well for this lineup, for this composition, for Elevate Unite. It's all about just banking onto the level 7, gaining access to the next moveset.
Yeah, next. It will really take time for them to stack up on the levels. And you were saying that Miva needed 9 levels for him to be effective earlier. This time around on the Gyarados is going to have an easier time, especially with JR absent there to support him all the way.
Now Phantom Force goes through, the knockup is there, Kai is in danger, Shua forces down the eject button, and Miva comes in with a bounce. That will be the dunks coming back and forth, left and right. That's really good because that will be 20 points remaining for the goal zone to come down, and War Turtle is down low.
Ooh. Immediately, Elevate was able to dictate the early game. The top side, the points, the XPs there, and even gets the Regieleki to boot. What a performance so far in the early stages for Elevate Unite. For Talon PH, they need to slow things down because Miva is 1 level away from the Unite move being available, and we all know how impactful Dragon Current is in any given situation.
Yeah, huge knockout potential. Tempest forcing out the eject button. Actually, picture perfect there. As if he did not go for it,
right?
He will get the hammer. That will be really devastating, as now the objective is available for both sides contest.
You can feel the tension, right? Like Talon PH and Elevate Unite. Although Elevate Unite was able to get a very good early game advantage on the top side, they're not pushing their luck as of yet, right? They're respecting of the punishment that can come their way if Talon PH will be able to find whatever opening they are able to find. Tempest going in.
Yeah, Rubix is in danger, stepping down, overstepping. But Registeel is reactive. It will be Sync 1 who forces down the glacial stage just to secure the objective.
Was it stolen? It was the Mew that took it.
Wait, huh?
It was stolen. It was stolen.
Oh, wow.
And now Elevate was able to get another advantage. It was Lewis all along, once again clutching in a steal.
Wow. And we're seeing it right down on our screens. It's Registeel coming down onto Elevate Unite. Oh, such a menace.
Everything that could go right, they'd go right for Elevate Unite. Now it's all about the mid-game now. It's all about the late game as well, because we are going to enter the 5-minute mark. How will they penetrate through the defenses of Talon PH? We all know, with all the best teams that we have here, Talon PH has done a remarkable job in defending their gold zones.
Yeah, and Talon is having a huge reliance onto Unite moves as well. Now that they're level 9 across the board, that's now available for the team.
Right, and that's no overcap whatsoever. It's 12 to the 12 HP of the bottom gold zone. Lewis, the recipient of the Registeel, or the stealer of the Registeel from a while back, is now being pushed back by the Talon members. Still very close game.
Gyarados bounces, goes for the Dragon Current. Now readying up, Eldegoss goes in for the Unite move. Hydro Typhoon will not connect onto Gyarados. Gyarados goes down as Miva will be KO'd. And Elevate Unite is forced to retreat.
The numbers advantage is on Talon PH's side because Elevate Unite has decided to go for a split push.
Mamoswine will gain them that 32 points, and now it's Elevate Unite who has to force out the Unite onto Shua.
Yeah.
Not exactly the best position there. Has to force out
What
the eject button to
HP?
go back into safety. Talon having the Reggie Alecki has that advantage of objective and pressure. And one down already. Eldegoss is removed, KO.
Good reset.
And Elevate Unite is still holding fort. They're still defending as Reggie Alecki is within an inch of getting onto the goal zone. Blastoise coming in with a rapid spin, but Hyperspace Hole saves him.
Elevate Unite, the defense is just too pure. Reggie Alecki is not going to touch down. This is what happens when you have the best teams here in the Philippines. No one wants to give an inch. And the action continues with Elevate Unite trying to look for the exiting members of Talon PH. It's quite surprising, right? I thought for a second that the resets coming in from Hoopa should be enough for them to push over the Reggie Alecki over to the goal zone, but for Talon PH, it wasn't enough.
Yeah, it wasn't enough. Elevate Unite just held their position onto the Tier 1 goal zone on top, but they just have so much hindrances and suppression built into Eldegoss, Gyarados. You also have Mammothline, which has it.
Okay. Now it looks like that they are planning to trade this Regirock for some points on towards the goal zone here in the bottom area. Elevate Unite, they're very vulnerable on the top side. Hoopa is now trying to score some points,
Gyarados
but will be stopped. Miva.
Oh, Miva has to force out the bounce, has to retreat, has to fall back, but Lewis is there. Give that extra support. If ever it comes down to Talon
Five-man
going in
push.
for the all-in. Tempest defending the goal zone. Elevate Unite has a 3-man rotation going for those dunks. 25 points will be dunked through. Will be denied for a bit, but you also have Blastoise going back with the Hyperspace Hole. It's really good.
Dragon
But now
Current.
Miva with the Dragon Current now looking for their opposition. Goes for the knock-up. But
Physical
now
clutch.
it's Dylan who goes in. But the Unite move.
Wow.
It comes in unattended, unscathed. In 2 minutes comes up, Rayquaza appeared.
Wow, that's huge because that's a Unite for a Unite that was traded off just ahead of the Rayquaza battle. We have to remember that Miva's Dragon Current will not be available at least in the next minute. Now here comes a Hornleech.
Hornleech Jr. absent is out of position. The weak KO for Talon, and that will start off the Rayquaza.
It's a 4v5 at least for the next few seconds.
Tempest overstepping, going in with a Unite move as well, gaining extra shield and
Hyperspace
extra
Hole.
sustain. But Hyperspace Hole saves a couple of members of his life here. You also have the Rings Unbound. That's just too much damage. It's just too much utility coming forward for Talon.
Ins and outs. No Unite move for Miva. Where is Miva going? He's going to target at least one of the carries.
Goes into the back. Miva gets a KO. Glacial is gone. Hyperspace Hole has to be forced away.
Jesus. Now Lewis is going to go down. Dylan clutches it down, and now KO after another. Miva is trying to survive
Rapid
against the
spin.
Blastoise.
Miva is gone. Lance will secure it. It's a 2-for-2 trade for now. But all that Elevate has to do is defend Rayquaza pit. Rapid spin goes around. That will secure the KO once again onto Eldegoss. Tempest put out of position. And he has to force away the retreat.
So
Has to go back. Has to remove the chase down from Talon. Now Shua is up and running with the Unite move. Pushing them deck. Pushing them back rather, and 30 seconds left for them to take the Rayquaza.
The Gyarados is here. Dragon Current available.
We'll see what they can do.
Talon got
Right now,
it!
Rayquaza will be secured by Talon. And Miva coming down onto the top half. Dylan is coming here. Kai as well. And that will be 200 points down the drain for Talon. That gave them the massive lead. And Elevate will have to raise the white flag on game number 1. Losing the objective against Talon.
Oh, man. I thought for a second that Miva should have the opening to at least influence that Rayquaza battle, but too little, too late. Talon PH had enough burst to really take down the Rayquaza in a snap. And again, the offense-centered or the attacker-centric lineup of Talon PH making wonders once again and clutching this game 1. This is the best of 3.
You know who won Talon the game?
Who?
Kai.
Yeah, Hyperspace Holds.
Hyperspace Hole, phenomenal.
Lots of
impressive.
resets, right?
Yeah, so much. And that was so prolonged out of 2 minutes
Right.
of that whole team fight. It was Kai who constantly brings back his team to full HP.
Yeah, the Rings Unbound as well, helping it out. The battle of attrition. Miva also committing the Dragon Current so early at around 2 minutes and 30 mark, and it not being available. It wasn't used for the entirety of the Rayquaza battle, and the only reason why was because he was hesitant, or he was he used it prior the Rayquaza spawning up.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate. Talon, Kai, this is so good, and I think coming down into the next game, Elevate can opt not to ban it away if they want to use it, because they have the priority pick. They have to switch in sides,
Right.
and they have to think about the draft. They have to think about what they can put to the table, because Talon is pretty much one game away into taking the grand finals in top 1 position.
Yeah, $15,000 waiting to join the pockets of Talon Esports members. Talon PH, they know that they are in the lead. At one point, you know, Elevate United, all that they have to do was to really keep them away from Rayquaza, but they were not able to do so just because of, you're right.
Effectively, they're going for Trevenant. If they're banning away these defenders into their bats coming into very early on at the draft pick, they want to pick up the Trevenant first.
You know what I miss?
What do you miss?
Lapras.
Oh, let's forget about that.
No, I'm saying, because defenders, right? Of all the defenders, Lapras has been absent.
We saw it one. We saw it one time in EUNA in their championship series, but
Right.
during the interview, they were like, I'm just using it just to prove that Lapras is still usable.
See? What if Talon PH is also
No.
about to do the same?
No, I doubt that.
Mew
Oh.
for Lewis.
They're giving away. Okay, the thing is, Umbreon is much more prioritized by Rubik's time and time again. So this could still be a Rubik's Umbreon, and then Elevate going in for the Trevenant for the second rotation.
For sure, Kai still has the Hoopa to go back to. So no Clefable in this game for Talon PH. Elevate Unite, by the way. Last two picks. Last two picks.
Zoroark and
Comfey.
Comfey. So expectedly, this could be a support defender or double defenders if they want to go for that route
For sure.
for Elevate Unite. An
That-
all-rounder is also considerable.
That will be the route for Elevate Unite. There you go, the double
The double defender. This might be it. Zoroark Comfey could possibly go in. But the thing is, Talon could sneak away and seal it away from Elevate Unite. They still are lacking the speedster, but unfortunately enough, they already have the Hoopa.
Right, they already have the Hoopa.
Hey,
So
let me finish.
for Talon PH, what will be their go-to here? It will be the Glaceon and the Blastoise.
Ooh.
They're daring Elevate Unite to pick it up. And for Elevate,
Zoroark.
go ahead, Dodrio or or Zoroark.
Although there's a lot of risk. If they went in for Zoroark and Comfey, they're banking on Zoroark to be able to come through and dominate. And that's exactly what they're doing. I love
I
it.
agree.
I love it.
Because for Elevate, it's one way to show what you are identified as. And
Yeah.
Elevate is known to be that team that will not hesitate to bring out the Zoroark, but Talon PH comes in prepared. Slow Beam is one of the direct counter to a Zoroark that is rampaging.
Yeah, and at that point, Zoroark can't do nothing. So
Exactly.
they really have to be wary of the position. They have to be wary of Slowbro. So it's really a good answer for Talon. So they were like, we're playing mind games here. We're doing a double bluff. You can pick up the Zoroark.
Yeah.
We have an answer.
You have to remember the Talon PH and Elevate Unite are very familiar with each other. They know that they are the two best teams here in the Philippines. And so, yeah, we know your tendencies and we know what answers to the questions of how to stop a Zoroark that is rampaging. Although one thing to note, for Talon PH, Slow Beam will not be available up until the latter part of the game. So if Shua gets the snowball that he needs, the Slow Beam might just be negligible.
And there's another layer of difficulty. Because we all know Hoopa is actually quite strong coming into the early game. Very mobile as well as a Pokemon. You have the Hyperspace Hole. And the thing is, with that availability of utility, Hoopa from Talon could just jump in, invade, constantly just confuse and be a nuisance to Zoroark all throughout the early game.
True, but you cannot feed the Zoroark more experience. You cannot.
You have the Hyperspace Hole though.
Yeah, but you still have to respect the amount of damage that Zoroark can bring into the table. See, I tell you right now, if that will be the consideration for Talon PH, if they really want to invade the jungle camps here or the forest camps here of Zoroark, they need extra care. They need something else.
Yeah, you definitely need something else. So
See?
we'll see. Right now,
No invade as of yet.
yeah, no invade. I was expecting it. Because Talon is so confident. They were so dominant coming into the early matchup. They could definitely do it. Plus, they have the double EVs as well. So very strong coming into the early game.
That's the goal, right? Again, it's just about having the early game dominance. And also to note, there is this comfy factor as well. So you kind of have to really be mindful of when to invade, where to invade. Lance, by the way, just playing with fire right there and then. No harm as of yet, and very quiet early game within expectations as well.
Yeah. Well, a little bit of a different expectation for me.
Really?
Yeah, because Hoopa is really strong coming into the game. You have the double EVs that are really strong. Yes, you have the slow roll
First
and the
rotation.
Swirtle, which is very unfortunate that they have to ramp up, but at that point, it's Talon that could utilize this. Fighting for the lane birds, it will be Talon. This is the strength of the early game double EVs.
Right, and basically just a very quick trade-off. And the bigger prize here is that they were able to slam some more points.
Shua going to the backside. Dylan is down low already. Half HP remaining. Those damage hurt so much.
Dylan almost got taken out. Not yet over.
Not yet over. Jumping around. Very mobile as a Pokemon. And Talon will not be able to get that KO onto Shua. And thus far, really good.
Yeah, but the bigger prize is that Shua was able to slam those 21 points in. That just means that he has more experience, and this is within expectations, right? You need to follow all those resources onto your primary carry. Meanwhile, Rubik's and company, they're okay. They're
fine.
They're fine. They're basically
They're
saying,
sitting.
okay, sure,
Pretty.
fine, that
Chilling.
happened. But here comes the critical part.
Shua comes into the back as well. Dylan is in danger. That will be Sylveon, who is removed by the Mew.
That's Lewis once again. Very reliable on the Mew, and Tempest was able to sneak some more points for Talent for Elevate, I mean.
Goes for the elevator. It's now Hoopa coming down onto the top path as well. Having a quick response. Having to sight Shua and Comfey in the same lane. And that will push Elevate Unite back.
That's the primary focus, right? Okay, fine, sure. Tempest is scoring some goals here and there. But the primary focus is to slow down Shua. That's it.
Yeah, definitely. Because Shua will be the winning condition here for Elevate Unite. A KO onto Hoopa. Shua is just doing so much work. And right now they're fighting for more. They want that Blastoise, but exactly at the right time, it evolved.
Oh man, and this is the thing for Shua, right? Like we are witnessing Elevate play to their pace. No mistakes whatsoever, just standard methodical approach, and having to feed Shua whatever resources needed. Meanwhile, Talon PH is actually doing a very good job in defending the zones.
Yeah, defending the zones. Also have 2 objectives available right now.
Oh.
Gold zone removed already. Talon PH was able to capitalize on that, was able to get that, and now they gain the map control advantage. They gain Reggie Alecki advantage.
Shua waiting in the sides. Wanting to at least get the head of Kai.
Kai gets information with the Phantom Force stage
Shua.
already used as well. Shua overstepped the boundaries and now 2 KO by Talon immediately after.
Just as I thought that they are playing their pace and that there will be no mistakes, that was a big blunder.
Reggie Alecki secured by Talon, and that will be another KO with Trevenant going down.
And Talon PH will be content by just having that denial of Reggie Alecki. They can go over to the bottom area and secure another buff for themselves, but rather they will go for the goals.
Snarl going through, not enough. The goal zone is in danger, and you also have a lot of hindrances to be able to protect Talon's goal to go for a couple of dunks. And now Hoopa goes in for the elevator for that quick response onto the top path. And considering that there is no tier 1 goal zone coming in for Elevate, this will be the advantage for Talon. Now Tempest going down into the bot path, into the bot lane, will be a 3v2 with Comfey in favor for Elevate Unite.
With just one knockout, with just one feint, all the momentum that Shua was getting in the early stages of the game is now gone and removed. That's how good Talon PH is. You commit a mistake, they will pounce and punish you so hard.
Yeah, and Shua is right now having a bit of a hard time.
Exactly.
Those oversteps is quite risky. And the thing is, once again, I want to tip my hats off to Talon. I feel like that's the reason why they're having a hard time. Now Tempest goes into the back Shua as well for those damage. And the Unite coming from Tempest removes the HP along with the Phantom Forest. And Blastoise goes in with a Hydro Typhoon, but it's a little bit too late. But Comfey in their sides for Elevate Unite. They have a lot of sustain. Rings Unbound comes through with a quick response. Miva comes again with HP, with sustain, with Comfey in their favor. Now with Regice as well, those prolonged matchup will be in their favor. But Surf, Miva out of position, gets isolated, but Trevenant gets sniped down.
Easy for Talon PH. Shua is still here.
Looking at the back glacial stage, already used up as well. Hyperspace hole
For
will
Shua.
save Hoopa's
Shua.
life, and now Shua will be KO'd.
Got isolated by the telekinesis, and it's just so easy for Talon now. Just the fact that they were able to defend that onslaught coming in from Elevate United, just a very good maneuver for themselves, and it's not yet over.
Comfey is a man on a mission who wants to go for the dunk on top path while every single crew fight is happening into the bottom path.
But the Elevator is there to at least defend the top path. No destroyed goal zone as of yet, and lands half HP. Needs to be careful. Rubik's, by the way, is already level 10.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's 12 points away onto removing the tier 1 gold zone into the bottom path, so they really have to defend because this will give an advantage off objective coming for Elevate Unite, and now Shua is in danger. Down low already, he has to force out a couple of moves there
Unite
to come back.
Wait, the flower fields was invested. I think that's a little bit preemptive.
Could possibly be. But at this point, they still have a couple of time before it reaches the Rayquaza availability. So that could charge up at any moment's time. Miva is in danger, has to force out the Phantom Forest. Sync 1 is down low already. Glacial stage for that extra mobility, but Trevenant is gone, and Regieleki will be the priority by Talon.
Bottom area, and there comes the push. Shua getting some points.
Trying to go for the chase here. Wants to go into the backside, wants to go for the eliminations, wants to go for the KOs in the 2v1. Slowbo is just being a menace, being a nuisance to those Pokemon from Elevate Unite. Regieleki going in favor for Talon PH, pushing down the tier 2 goal zone with Trevenant there trying to defend. This could possibly be a time buyer for Elevate Unite.
The game is super close. Talon PH knows that they are one win away from the championship. And Elevate fighting for their tournament life, fighting for one more chance.
Registeel, this will be a huge benefit coming down into the Rayquaza as it gives you a lot more damage. And that will be to the side of Talon.
But that's a goal for Shua. Look at the points. Elevate is already in the lead.
But at this point, I don't think it matters because Talon will get points of their own. 207 points for Talon, 184 for Elevate. So it is sitting really close with a 16-point disadvantage for Elevate.
Back and forth. Regieleki is not going to touch down. And now it's winning time. Rayquaza has appeared in the pit.
And it's Elevate who has to force it. We'll see what they could do. Remember what Talon did just a while back with Hoopa with those resets.
Shua.
This could definitely happen again.
A backdoor play possibly.
Lance being tethered. See what will happen here. But very tanky with a Hyper Space Hole. Resets comes through for Lance. Can come back in once again.
Shua wants to flank. Shua wants the team fight.
They have to find the Hoopa, the Sylveon, the Glaceon. This will be the key targets for Shua, and Kai goes in for the face check. Doesn't see anyone, no information where Shua's at.
This is anyone's game.
Definitely anyone's game, 1 minute and 20 seconds left. The positioning of Dylan onto the bot side. Just waiting for time here, and Rubik's is in a very good position. Lance constantly going in for those resets with a Hyperspace Hole. A minute left, and this is where it starts. Elevate Unite is now going to have to force something out of nothing. And now might just go in for the zone. We'll see. Elevate Unite is now running through.
Shua.
And just buying
Here comes
time.
Shua.
Hyperspace Hole. Shua into the back. Phantom Forest already invested coming in. But Trevenant goes down. It's a 4v5 situation where Shua is nowhere to be found. Just waiting for the right time to come through. But he's sighted into the back. But Umbreon trying to go into the goal zone, trying to dunk some points. But at this point, these two teams know that the fight and the battle is close. The reset comes through, and this will be massive as the Rayquaza is down back to half HP, and Shua is nowhere to be found. Shua is a little bit too late. It jumps in at time. Blastoise secures it, and it will be Talon who gets the Rayquaza.
For the championship, clutching it out, Talon PH secures Rayquaza.
And the WCS 2024 Philippine champions is going to be Talon, being the best of the best in the region.
Perfect game so far. Lance. Kai. He was the one who spot out Shua. Shua had no perfect entry because the Phantom Force was able to spout out Shua, trying to flank, trying to find the opportunity to go for the backdoor play. And JR versus Shua, that was our story. Sorry, JR versus Kai. And Kai winning that exchange in the end, or winning the game for themselves, was massive.
And it was a bit of a shocker that constantly Elevate is leaving behind the Hoopa available for Talon, considering how Hoopa and Kai single-handedly won Talon the game 1. And once again, doing it once more into the last 2 minutes of that matchup wherein Talon was able to capitalize onto Kai to win it.
They just know how to play against a Zoroark, right? Like, because Shua was trying to find the angle. You look at the damage dealt here by Shua. Sure, fine, okay. There's just no way for him to get some poke damage in. So all this damage that we are